What's good, everybody? It's your boy Joe B1, your favorite rap and Black Series collector, and the #1 hip hop Jedi in the galaxy. Hope you guys are all doing all right today. In today's video, titled "From Phase One to Phase One," we're gonna take a look at a slight timeline of some of the updates to the clones in the Black Series line. I've been collecting a long time. You can see behind me, I've got a bunch of clones all over the place. And we're going to take a look at some of them just to kind of show how they've updated over the years. I know there's a lot of new collectors coming to the line who might not know, who may be looking to pick up some clones to bolster their ranks. And, this will kind of help you guys make sure you're getting the ones that you want by looking at some of the features and how they've progressed over the years. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. Much love. Let's get into the video. Okay, starting off, we're taking a look at the Phase 1, the original Phase 1 that came out. And right off the bat, you can see some of the differences with the double-pinned knees, the double-pinned elbows, and the smaller head, compared to the newer clones. That's because that is the head. There is no head underneath that helmet. Smaller proportions, and he looks skinny. He looks small, but I think this is more accurate to the films, technically. But it doesn't look like a guy in a suit to me. Looks a little bit too skinny for that. But it still has a great place on my shelf. I won't be getting rid of this original clone just because. I feel like it's got to be a part of the collection. It's kind of a legacy piece at this point. But, I'm still very happy with it. Moving on, though, we have the 2.0 clone. So, they updated it. No pin joints in the knees, no pin joints in the elbows. They just have that single kind of deeper cut. And, yes, to address the elephant in the room, that is not an official clone blaster. I just put random blasters sometimes in my clone's hands because it's fun. It looks it looks cool on the shelf. But yeah, and you can see there is a unpainted head underneath that helmet, and that's why that helmet looks larger. It looks more like human proportions, although still a little bit on the skinny side, if you ask me, in terms of the body and stuff. But it is a definite improvement from the original one. Now we'll take a look at the original ARC Trooper mold. It does have the soft goods comma, which is nice-ish. But, still double pin knees, double pin elbows, kind of limited articulation to a degree. But they still look good on the shelf. You can see Wolf on the right has a head underneath that helmet. A Fox does not, and you can see that in the proportions there. Again, I kind of like the head under the helmet thing. But it does look a little on the larger side, which you can see even further along as we get into the evolution of the clones. But moving on, just taking a look at the kind of a cross. You have a painted head on the 2.0 mold, so they kind of went backwards with that Mace Windu set. The Clones of the Republic 2-pack with Mace Windu. But that 187th clone does look great. The paint job looks fantastic. And the ARC Trooper on the right, that's the updated version of that. Got the plastic comma, kind of limits articulation in the legs. Still looks great, although this one is a little bit inaccurate, with the helmet and some other details. But again, still looks fantastic. If you can get a good deal on either of these, go for it. You'll be happy to have them in your ranks as a cloner. And now, again, the Phase 1, completely updated and new. On the new 3.0 clone body, there is a painted head under that helmet. And that helmet looks great. No chin sticking out underneath there. The paint job looks good. And yeah, of the new clones on the 3.0 body so far, this has been my favorite. No rationale to that. I just like how it looks on the shelf. I often find myself picking it up. But here we have them side by side. Phase 1 to Phase 1. And, you can see the clear differences when they're side by side. But, I still have a lot of affection for the original clone. And it does have a place on my shelf for sure. I'm sure you guys could probably find one for a good deal. And if you can, more power to you. It's kind of cool to have a legacy piece like that in the Black Series collection. It's not worth a lot of money or anything like that. It's just neat. If you're collecting for money, you're collecting, for not great reasons. But anyways, just to show you, it's not definitive list. I do have a lot of clones we didn't go over. A lot of clones that aren't even pictured here, but I just wanted to show you. There's a ton of clones in the line on all sorts of colors. But here you have the Phase 1 to Phase 1 photo. Looking great in that side by side. Next up, we have the 187 with the ARC Trooper. All right, and last but not least, a photo of these two side by side. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks, guys. What did you think of some of the progression over the years? It's pretty cool, right? I mean, you can literally kind of watch how some of that happened. How they were able to kind of go from like the early engineering from that first clone, and how it's gone to the most recent clone, the 3.0 mode as it's called, and some of the changes to some of the ARC troopers and stuff like that as well. It's interesting, you know what I mean? It's kind of neat. Another side of the collecting hobby that you might not think about all the time. So and looking at my clones on the shelf all the time, I can't help but notice some of that stuff. So I thought it'd be a fun video to make and share with you guys. But anyways, y'all, I appreciate you for joining. If you made it this far in the video and you've enjoyed what you've been watching, do consider hitting that like, subscribe if you're new, drop a comment, show some love. We really appreciate it around here. It means a lot. I'm not an expert on action figures per se, but I have been collecting for a long time, and I'd love to be an asset to any of you guys who might be collecting as well. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Much love. May the force be with you. I'll see you in the next video.